we go again with the mouse.
Now it's not going to let me. Okay, now that I made everybody dizzy, it's not going to let me go sideways.
And the mouse is not working again.
Yeah, it's not. I didn't change anything.
Oh.
So you're going to have to.
That's fine.
Well, that's frustrating. That's a new thing. Now I know what Kasaya was talking about. Okay, well. I don't know. Heather's laughing at me. I don't understand what the deal is. Not going to work. Oh my God, get over it.
I can't get over it.
You have to. All right. How bad does this look? Because it won't let me go sideways. Oh, well, I guess it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I don't know. YouTube must have changed something. Kasaya said something about her phone yesterday.
Really?
Now I'm understanding why. So if you don't like it, I can't change it. Please don't complain.
Well, they can see you. So that's all that's
Well, they can see both of us,
Yeah.
but like that just looks stupid. Why YouTube? Why? That just looks dumb. All right, well, we're gonna have to figure that out. But in the meantime, I
morning,
don't care, and you don't need to care either. Okay, so if you are only here for Handmade Holiday Swap stuff and you don't feel like listening to the rest of this, I'm just going to get right into that, and then we'll move on to some other stuff. So, all right. Last time I'm going to say this, until next year when I have to say it all over again. Last day to send your emails, okay? If you're interested in the Handmade Holiday Swap, listen up. This is it. I'm going to give you all the information. Today is 9/29. Today is your deadline. By the end of the day, if I wake up tomorrow morning and at 6 a.m. there's an email, it doesn't count. I need it today by like the close of business day, okay? I'll give you until what, 8 o'clock? That sounds good?
Eastern
California,
Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time, daylight time, whatever. Don't ask me the difference between that either. I don't know EST and EDT and WTF. I don't know, okay? By the end of today, it needs to be today, like postmarked, the 29th, okay? You're going to send me an email. You're going to compose an email. So in the two, you're going to either put Jessica at SoManyCreationsNY.com or smcny.orders@gmail.com, or you're going to fill out a contact form. Just get it to me. That's all you got to do. And in the subject, if you can, Handmade Holiday Swap, then I know what's going on. You're going to tell me real important stuff like your name and address. I will not be hunting anyone down from here on out, okay? So if you send me an email that doesn't have your name and address, it doesn't count. I need to take this email and click forward and send it to your partner. So they need to know where to send your stuff. You know, does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And don't respond to your email.
Please don't, because
Like
then
I did.
they group together in Gmail and then it's a whole thing. Just get me an email, your name, your address. Tell me something about your bag making preferences. I am happy to learn all the ins and outs of your life. That's fine. You can share that too. But if you're real specific about bags, tell your partner what you like. Because in reality, you're not talking to me. You're talking to the person making something. So if my email goes to Barb's making me something, and I don't give her my name and address, she doesn't know where to send it.
Nope.
And if I just say, I love bags, well, I guess that means she can make anything she wants, but I'm also not helping her. I'm not giving her any preference. So if you have no preference, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. But I personally like backpacks and I like crossbody bags. And I put that in there so that Barb knew somewhere to start. And I would also let her know that I don't like the color red, but I really like purple, but I'm open to anything. I love black and white. Black and white with a pop of color. Love that. And I like cork, but I'm open to anything. And I give her this information. Now, what are you going to get in exchange for that? What happens after that? Next week, on or before October 4th, which is Wednesday. So on or before the 4th, you're going to get an email in your inbox. You're going to get an email that says, here's your partner's information. It's going to have that email forwarded to you. At the top of that email is going to be some important information. So what do you need to make? When do you need to make it? And what are the rules? So rule number one, we don't have a budget. The reason I do that is because
Mhm.
everybody's budget is different. And I don't really think that on a handmade swap, you can really put a budget. You're not walking into a store and buying something. So I don't put a budgetary constraint on it. Barb has a bigger budget than I do. I might send
Yeah.
less, she might send more. That's totally fine. We're all
Mhm.
open and pleasant about it. So the only thing that you have to make, you are obligated to make one single solitary item, and that needs to be from one of my patterns. Any bag, wallet, tote, anything in that area. If you choose to make other things, they can be anything you want. It can be a Lynn's handmade wallet. It can be the new tote from Lauren. It can be a quilted table runner. It can be knitted gloves. I don't care. The only thing that I ask is that there is one single solitary item made from my patterns. It's the only thing I ask because I'm the host. I don't get anything from this. I do this out of the kindness of my heart because I'm a nice person. It might not seem like that right now. I seem a little edgy right at the moment, but I am a nice person.
Calm.
But that's all that I ask from you. That's it. So you can make as many things. You usually send extras, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you make stuff or do you send like goodies like chocolates and things like
I
that?
sent,
A little bit of
dog
both?
treats, some goodies, and yeah.
So if you
I sent a
said
quilt.
a quilt, here's a whole quilt. If you said, I have two, chihuahuas and they
Yeah.
love squeaky toys, Barb might send a squeaky toy with your
Right.
package. She doesn't have to, but she might want to.
Yeah.
We have local things that make, local businesses that maybe we bought like a handmade soap or a chocolate or something. You
Mhm.
can include anything you want. Spoil your partner within your budget and
Right.
your desire. That's all that you have to do. It is a secret. It is a secret until your partner gets their item. And you are not swapping back and forth. So I don't make something for
No.
Barb and she makes something for me. I make something for her, she makes something for someone else. That way it's a secret. So don't tell anyone who your partner is. But if you are on Facebook, which is not a requirement, but if you are and you decide that you want to say in our Facebook group, hey, partner, do you like this fabric or this fabric? We hope your partner answers. There's no guarantee your partner might not be on Facebook, but we hope that out of the answers you get, one of them's from your partner going, ooh, I love the one
Yeah.
on the right. That's the one that's for me. So it's just fun. We just keep it a secret. We spoil each other. We do whatever we want. So when do you have to have these magical gifts ready to go? By December 4th. I got really cocky and almost just threw the date out there. I wanted to double check though. I wrote it down.
You did.
December 4th is your deadline. Yes, you can send early. Connie, I'm talking to you because you always send
Yeah.
early. I don't care. Early is fine. If you're the kind of person that gets a task, gets it done, and moves on with their life, please send me an email on how you do that.
Yeah, really, me
Because
too.
I can't. But also, if it's just easier for you because it is, that's fine. Early is fine. By December 4th, on or before, send your package with tracking. That is the only other requirement because we need to know where it is. And if for some reason it gets lost, we need to know who to contact when it gets lost. If you are not on social media, if you're just here on YouTube and you get your package, we want to acknowledge the person that sent it. So if you're like, hey, I'm not on Facebook, I don't do any of that stuff, send me an email or send the order email and just send us a picture and say, Barb sent me these beautiful things. Can you tell her? I said, thank you. And I'll post for you. That's not a problem at all. But we want to acknowledge our partners and say nice things to them. That's the whole point in this. We're making friends. We're doing nice things for each other. Other than that, are there any other rules? I think that was everything, right?
That's about it. Yeah.
And when I send you the email next week, you will also get a coupon code that you are welcome to use for your swap or for yourself or for whatever you want. You want to spoil yourself and buy a bunch of stuff. That's up to you. You will get a coupon code for you to use. I will make sure that it is a minimal 2-time use because then if you wanted to buy a pattern and buy physical product because they're separate. So we'll put that in there. All that information will be written in there. If you cannot fulfill your swap for any reason, you do not owe me an explanation. Just please send me an email that says, I can't do it, and I will take care of it. We will figure that out for you. I have only had one person not make anything and not contact me in the 3 years that we've been doing this. I found out this morning that a couple other people didn't receive their swap gifts. They were notified though, because there were some issues. They were fully notified and they were super nice about it and never even told me that they didn't get them. I find out things as I go along. But if something happens, life gets in the way, it's all right. The only thing I ask though is don't sign up for this if you know that you don't follow through with things. If you know that you get excited right now and then in a few weeks from now you forget about it, you don't care, just don't sign up. Because I don't want to be obligated to send 10 packages to people because you just kind of thought
Yeah.
that's not a good idea anymore. But I understand things happen, life gets in the way, and sometimes life is a pain, and I totally get that. We've all been there before. So just let me know what's going on. If you want to give me information, if you just want to say, I can't do it, something's happened, that's fine. That's it. That's all you need to know. Questions?
I have an answer for Catherine Franco.
You have an answer?
I do.
So you don't even need me.
No, I don't need you. No, she says, sounds like so much fun. Can you recommend an easier pattern for a new bag maker? I would suggest a Taurus tote.
I knew that's what she was going to say.
Taurus
The
tote.
Taurus tote is a great bag, and who can't use a tote bag?
Exactly.
I have a bunch of free patterns on my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm a little salty this morning because I'm tired, but there's a whole freebie playlist. There's boxy pouches. There's there's 2 wallet patterns, the Daybreak and the Sydney. There's little scrap busters. There's even a little tote bag. The little market tote is a free one. Like all these boxy pouches, there's fully lined and unlined. There's a clear vinyl one. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there. If you are unsure, some of the people in the swap I know personally because I've gotten to know them as customers. I can't say that for everybody, but if you are like stumped, Miss Barb here sends you an email and gives you nothing. She's like, I like bags, thanks. And you're like, do you know Barb and what she might like? If I do, and I can steer you in the right direction, I'm happy to. If I don't, I can say, I don't know this person, but why don't we start here? If you're looking for something in your skill level, I can help you with that. Also, I have free walkthrough tutorials for a lot of my patterns. So even if you feel like it's out of your skill level, but your partner loves this one bag, if I have a video for it, it's like taking a private class. So there's lots of options. We are always here to help if you have questions. But remember, today is it. After today, I cannot help you. At least with signups. You must sign up today. And I'm begging, Charlie? I'm begging all of you. Like I'm literally, I would get on my knees, but I can't right now. My jeans are too tight. I am begging you to please, one email, just one. Please don't send me multiple emails. I have to click a button and send it to your partner. Name, address, things you like, things you don't like, a little bit about yourself. Please don't send me email after email after email because you forgot stuff. And if you don't send me your name and address, why? But also, I'm not correcting anybody else from here on out. I've been correcting people for 2 weeks. I love your enthusiasm. I love it with all my heart. But just put your name and address on it.
Catherine
please.
would like to know if she can tweak your pattern.
Yeah, tweak away. Go right ahead. That's fine. That's fun because maybe your partner will get inspired by it.
Right.
Friendships have been made here. I'm not joking. And I love that because they're like, oh my God, I met you in person. This is so cool. You're my friend. Let's friend each other on Facebook. Let's text each other. I love that. That's what I'm here for. I'm the puppeteer of the friends, but I don't do anything for the swap except get the names and send the names out. I don't do anything else. This is not for me. I do not participate. Don't worry. No. You're not going to have to make me anything. We've been there already. We won't go down that road again. No. So you may have to make something for Barb, but I feel like that's probably less intimidating. And I don't know why.
Well,
you don't be intimidated
by me. Maker, so.
She says that. However, she is a good bag maker when she makes bags. Yeah. She just doesn't do it consistently. That's all.
That's
you
true.
Can do it.
I can do it.
You
if
can
I want
cook
to.
too. You just don't do that all the time.
That's a nightmare thought.
Yes, it is. And
Call
if you
the Chinese restaurant quick.
I am excellent at this. If you are on Facebook and you haven't joined our group, join the group too, because then you can also try to ask your partner some questions, secretly. So it's a little secret swap. This is our 4th year. This is our 4th year?
I think so, yeah.
Holy moly. Yeah. That's crazy to me.
Charlie's going to cave and sign up, he says.
Do it, Charlie. Do it. Please. Charlie, you make amazing bags. Listen, whoever gets something from Charlie, they're going to be blown away. You are an amazing bag maker. You all are. And let me tell you, I haven't counted fully, but I glanced at the folder this morning. I think we're into the 50s. I think we're over last year's number. Wow. There's a lot of people whose names I know did not participate or people that I just met. And I'm like, oh, yay, I know this person. Yeah, so cool. Super exciting.
That'll be fun.
If you want to leave and you don't want to listen to me anymore, you're welcome to leave. That's it on the holiday swap. we're going to talk about So Magical and all of the stuff that is sitting in front of me, which half of which I've forgotten that I bought.
I got to thank Shelly. Thank you, Shelly.
Oh, what did Shelly do?
She said Barbara's a bag maker. She made a great Taurus tote that I love.
See? And didn't you give her a quilt last year? Or
In the Taurus
in the
tote,
Taurus,
they
yeah.
matched.
yeah.
I did.
So you might get an entire quilt.
You never know.
Heather, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Heather is a soap maker, and I think Heather made some soap possibly last year. A couple of other people have other hobbies and do things for their partners. You can buy them something. You can add whatever you want. The year that I did do it, again, I'm not doing it. Don't worry. My partner had dogs. And I knew that because she had mentioned it. So I sent her some dog treats and like some dog toys. And then I made her a matching set. Because I feel like if you don't know, if you're not really sure where to go, a matching set never hurts. So I think I did a purse and a wallet and maybe like zipper bags or something.
You.
I really am. See? And then you guys don't want me to participate because I'm going to make you something. And then I go overboard. So
I'll make you something.
I'll make you something.
I'll make you something.
All right, I'll give myself to you.
Okay.
I'm not participating. Don't worry. Okay. Any other questions? Are we all good?
Oh my goodness, Charlie, you grow carnivorous plants? My partner will get a plant full of dead bugs.
Perfect. Listen, I take that. I'd be happy with that because any plant that I
was
get
gonna
dies
say,
anyway.
anything
So
that's here it goes by the wayside. So
it doesn't last. I'm not really good at that whole take it in before the frost happens.
no.
Yeah, all the plants die here.
Yeah.
I am considering getting some mums before the open house because mums are fairly easy, and I'm just gonna throw them out when the winter comes anyway. I'm not planting them. I'm putting them in the little thing outside. But what do you?
That'd be pretty.
Right.
Oh, the thing outside where
that
looks like a planter.
That looks like a planter. They won't last past the open house, but whatever. Okay.
Somebody will take them at some point.
Somebody probably will take them because they like to take my plants around here. So before we get into So Magical,
says you should definitely participate.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
I know you're not.
I'm not. I appreciate it, but
she doesn't have time.
No, I just was scarred, and once I'm scarred, I'm over it, and I'm not doing it. So. Even if I made Barb make me something, it would just be mean. And she'd probably just shop here and I would get something I already made. Here's your bag for you. That she already made.
This one?
I love that. Thank you. So I sent out a newsletter yesterday that also had information. We have classes still. We still have openings in September's over pretty much. October and November and very early December classes. They are in person if you want to sign up. I am still going to do some virtual classes, so not retreats. We do the retreats. Those are a full Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Our next one is next weekend, and your first in-person is next weekend.
Exactly. So stop having them the same weekend as me.
I picked my dates first, just saying.
I doubt it.
I know I did. It was last year. So I am going to
very disappointed.
I know, but it's your fault. I am going to do some in-person classes as well. Or, excuse me, we already do that. Zoom classes for those of you that do not live nearby and don't want to come here. I understand. So I am going to do those. Will they happen before the end of the year? I don't know. Definitely something for 2024. However, excuse me, I talk and then I burp.
That's not unusual.
It's not. Welcome if you're new.
Really?
I burp a lot. My dog farts all the time. So we're very musical. Our open house, our second annual open house is in a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Holy moly. The 13th and 14th. It is on the website, the information. The physical address is on the in-person class info, and it's also in the newsletter that was sent out. If you didn't get the newsletter, there are links in the group and on the Facebook page, or you can sign up for it if you want to. If you need any information, just let me know. And yes, I do know my own address for those of you that questioned me. Yes, I do know my address. The address that is listed is our mailing address because I know what it is. If you happen to put into one of your maps and it corrects you to Broadalbin, it will still get you here, but it is not our mailing address. So that's why I put our mailing address. So please stop thinking I don't know my own address.
I don't even.
You don't, and that was a mailing issue, but you don't mail things. I have to have things shipped here. So if you're interested in coming, It's in the newsletter. It's also on the website, and
Mhm.
that's it. And that is the 13th and 14th of October. And we're going to have, you can shop, you can snack, you can chat. We're going to have some little giveaways. I have some ideas, fun little things. And we'll probably have some balloons and some pretty mums. And
I think so.
that's about it. I don't know. Come hang out with us. Give me a hug.
Yeah.
I like hugs. Any other questions? That was a lot of information in
It
21
sure was.
minutes.
Blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
Charlie booked his hotel for the open studio. What's the open studio?
Open house.
Oh.
Open house. Charlie has something else you don't know.
Okay.
Oh, one final thing about the holiday swap, and then we're really done. It is US only. I keep forgetting to mention that. I
Yeah.
do apologize for that. The reason is I don't have enough interest outside of the United States, and I don't feel comfortable making two people have to pay exorbitant amounts, because unfortunately shipping to the next country over is way too much money, and I don't understand it
Yeah.
either. So the holiday swap is US only. My apologies for not clarifying that before. I think because I've said it the last 3 years, I forget that I need to mention that. So yes, it is US only. If we are ever able to do something that includes Canada or that is separate to Canada, I would happily do that. It's just not happening right now. So that is all. I just don't think it's really fair for somebody else to have to pay like 3 to 4 times as much. Two people would kind of
shipping,
have to
yeah.
pay that extra shipping. And I don't want to deter somebody from wanting to do it. I know that's unfair to my Canadian and international customers, but I have to think of the majority, and that's kind of how that goes. So my apologies. I keep forgetting to say that because I didn't write it down, and it's so far back in my noggin that I forget to say it. Okay, now I'm done. Now,
Are you sure?
no, I never am. Okay, now you can leave. If you already left, you missed that part, so I'm real sorry. I'm trying really hard here. Okay, I am going
Let's
on.
move on.
I'm going on lack of sleep here.
Yes, you are.
And I have
So
2
let's move
back-to-back
on.
classes
I know you
this
do.
weekend,
You're
which is
crazy.
great. I know, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I bought a bunch of stuff
Mhm.
because I always do, for fun, because
Mhm.
I'm irresponsible. I don't know what to tell you. But let's talk about So Magical again, because I will always talk about it, and why it's so special to me and why I like it and why I hope that all of you will consider going one day. And then we'll look at all the things that I bought and I can remember what's in this pile. So
I'm excited.
if you're
It's
not,
very pretty.
thank you. If you're not familiar or if you haven't been and you're curious, I talk about it usually every time I come back from a So Magical event because I like to spread the information. It's one of those things that I did not know about it. Charlie is actually the one that introduced me to the expo. I did not know anything about it, and had I just heard the name, I probably would have passed right by because it is called So Magical and it takes place in Orlando. So what does that say to me? It's a Disney thing. Well, that is incorrect. It is not a Disney thing, but I assumed that's what it was, that it somehow correlated to Disney. And it is not. A lot of people go to Disney and a lot of people make things Disney related at the show, but it is not a Disney event. It's also not a bag making event. I want to clarify that because I read some comments on Facebook in the So Magical group that where people were asking, like, are there other events that aren't for bag makers? And this one isn't necessarily just for bag makers. What I have seen happen over the 2 years that I've been associated with them is that a lot of people like myself, Lauren from Mormino, forgetting everybody, Nicole from Sonar, all these like people, Alexis from Aura Rosa was there very briefly, different people that are bag makers, designers, notions, sellers. They've kind of all come together and it's kind of become very heavily geared towards bag making because we don't have that. There's quilt shows, there's craft shows, there's, cons, like different Comic-Con and this con and that con. We don't have bag making specific events. That's just not a thing that really happens. So because of that, because this has been a very open craft, it's a craft kind of an expo where Kayla, who runs it, has tried to get all different people to join in. It's just kind of leaned heavily towards bag making. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think for all of us in the bag making community, it's wonderful. I think for people that were hoping for other things, maybe not as much. They've had crochet, they've had felted wool, they've had garment making. they had resin this year. Somebody was doing
Oh,
resin,
really?
which I was like, oh man, I should have gotten in on that
really.
class. There was leather skiving. There was
Leather what?
skiving. It's when you thin your leather edges out, so when you put them together, it sews easier.
Oh,
So it's a whole thing. People were
really?
learning how to skive leather. There were just so many different things. But when you looked generally at the pictures, the vendors,
Yeah.
the classes, you're like, oh, this is for bag makers. Not necessarily. I'm working on a class for next year that has zero to do with bag making. Not even a hint of bag making, because I get to do things like that at a show like this. And Kayla's always looking for vendors and for teachers. So if you have a skill set, does not have to be in bag making. If you're Heather, I'm going to throw you out there again just because your name is right there. Heather is a soap maker, and maybe Heather loves teaching classes. I don't think she does, but I'm going to say she does anyway. And she's like, that would be a great class.
Yeah.
That would be something that people might go, well, I've never gotten to do that at home before. I've never, had the chance. Kayla's always looking for that kind of stuff too. She is trying to keep it crafting, but this expo itself is definitely leaning into the bag making. People that come there, they know the pattern designers, they know their YouTube channels. They take classes from people where they've already made stuff from us. They've worked with cork before. And then I had a lot of people that had never worked with cork before that, are still fairly new to putting zipper pulls on, like real new bag makers. So somebody like you that doesn't do a lot of bags would feel just as comfortable as somebody like me who knows how to make a bag. I could go and take one of those classes and learn how to use an industrial. You could do a simpler class and say, I've never sewn with cork. So there's definitely a lot of stuff for everyone. And I think that's what's really drawn me to it. On top of the fact that, and I've said this many times in the past, I haven't said it as much recently. I formed the community that we have here on YouTube, on our Facebook group, on like all the platforms that I have. I formed it to be a safe space. I wanted the people that are in our Facebook group to know that it's not going to be one of those drama-filled groups. We're not going to sit and gossip and make fun of people, and we're not doing that stuff. When you come to my YouTube channel, yes, I have full tutorials, and then we also do this on Fridays. But we're not sitting here bashing people. We're not doing all the negative stuff. I don't do the bullying and the BS. I had a lot of bad experiences in the quilting community. One in particular has always stuck out to me because unfortunately I'll make this a very short story, but this is why I was a little timid about the whole So Magical thing. I was invited to an event. Obviously, this other person was invited to this event. We were all there for a reason. I thought we got to know each other and became friendly with each other, even though most of the weekend was a little strange. I felt like there was never a full connection, but by the end of it, I'm like, maybe we're friends. Okay, that's cool. Saw this person at another event and literally was just like, hey, and got one of those, I'm not looking at you because I'm with cool people and I don't want to associate with you. And so when you experience things like that over and over again, and you meet somebody loosely on Instagram, you're like, oh my God, I love your stuff. And then they look at you like you're crazy. That's in your head that this is what's going to happen. And this is how it's all going to be. So fast forward to last year, I'm going to this event. Charlie has told me it's fun. He tells me about it. I sign up. I'm teaching a class of bending. That's all I'm going for. Now, Lauren decides, let's have a designer event where we all sit together. And I'm like, nope, I don't want anything to do with that. And I am so glad that I got over myself and did it because I can very easily sit in a corner, not engage, and walk out of a room and then just sweat it out for the rest of my life. But I sat purposely next to Nicole from Sonar, and I was like, either she's going to like me or this is going to be a bad experience. Whatever happens, I'm putting myself in the middle of it. These are now some of my good friends. I never imagined I would say that. We have group texts. We hug each other. We have it's become a community and they're my friends, but also I'm comfortable now. And so my safe space for you, I also needed one for myself. And going there, I don't feel weird. I don't feel like strange being like, oh my God, it's Lauren. I'm not like, oh God, I shouldn't talk to her. I'm like, hey, every single day, all day long, people are hugging me, taking pictures. Like you just feel happy. I walk out of there and I'm majorly depressed when I leave because I'm like, I don't want to leave them. Like they're so nice to me. I don't want to come home. Aww. But like I want to come home to you guys. I do want a hug. I do. Oh, thank you. I like hugs. But it's it's just a happy place where how can you be unhappy there? Like, because you're doing what you love with other people that love what you do. I'm sitting in a class and this person here is struggling with their machine, and this person who does not know them is like, try this, do this, and trying to help them out. So I just see the comment from Mary, you found your people. I want to be your people, and I found mine, and I want all of us to be part of that because it's fun. And Mary was at the So Badgical event, which that is not an expo. It's not a vending event. It's not pick your own classes kind of a thing. That is, here's the outline of your entire weekend. Show up with basic supplies, have a great time. And Mary can tell you that you kind of just like, you're there, you're immersed in bag making, you're working on domestics, industrials, no-sew, you're working with leather and cork and waterproof canvas and all these different things. That's a different type of event. That's not the one that I get to choose to go to. I always just tell Kayla I want to go to that and, hope that she asks me. But going to the expos, I like to vend. I sell cork and I sell my patterns and templates. Excuse me. And I like to teach because I love teaching. I've been teaching for 18 years. I thoroughly enjoy that.
Can't be that long. You're not that old.
That long. I have been teaching since before I got married. Yep. And today is my anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Jessica. How many years is it now?
16 years.
16 you've put up with him.
16 years. 16 years
he's
put up with me.
You?
Either or.
Which way does it go?
Both ways.
You've put up with each other.
Yes.
So you're like the dynamic duo.
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
You are.
But it's just, the thing that makes me the most sad, other than leaving, is that I didn't discover this group sooner. And it's not because it's not because I desperately need friends. I have friends, but I want friends that understand what I'm doing. I want a friend that knows when I'm talking about the weird sewing stuff, and I talk to you guys, but I can't see your faces. So we don't have the same conversations. We do during virtuals. We do when we meet in person. And I will say, and I can only speak for me, but I feel very confidently saying this about everyone else. I hear the conversations. There was not a person there that would walk up to any of us and go, I watch you on YouTube. And we're like, oh, that's weird. No, it's exciting. I had this where she goes, I'm a huge fan. And I was like, I'm a huge fan of you. And she's like, oh my God, I love you. Because it's exciting because it means that what I'm doing gets out there to people. And it means that like you recognize me. And the amount of people that said your name, I'm like, oh, you're legit. You really do watch. Because you're like, I love you and Barb. And I'm like, really? And they think you're so sweet. And they think, they don't know you. No, I'm just kidding. But, when you hear that, it's just like, oh, I feel like it touches my heart. Like it feels so nice because it's not the reverse of the experience that I had where I'm like, I love your Instagram feed. That's great. Okay, move along. You get that like, and yes, sometimes I'm super awkward. I'm not going to say I'm not. And sometimes people are, and they're like, I'm sorry, this is so weird. What did this one woman said to me? It was really funny. She said something about like knowing me, and she goes, that's weird, isn't it? I know you really well, but like you've never met me. And I said, it's not weird though. I put myself out on the internet. You guys know my husband. You know Lauren's kid's name. Like you know these things because you watch the videos. We put it out there. That's the point. So if you came up to me and you're like, how's Eric? And I'm like, oh, why do you know my husband's name? That to me is a little bit weird. Like I'm like, well, I've said it. I've introduced you to him.
Exactly. He's been on there.
He's been on. If I thought it was weird that you knew his name, then why would I have him on here? So it's just it's a happy community where we just enjoy it's not about competition. It's not about, well, if she sells that, then I'm not going to bring that. We're kind of looking and knowing, okay, well, they bring this, so there's no point. I'll bring this instead. We're not doing it as like a weird, like, oh, well, I need to be the best. We're just having a great time. The amount of times that I would tell people to go to Hannah Woodworking, who was literally next to me, because I was like, do you see my base? Do you see the Becky base I have on my Cam Snap? Becky said the amount of people that came over and said, someone was talking about it in class, and she was like, I knew it was you, because I want to support you. I want to support small businesses and people that I like. That's the whole point of this. So that was me rambling, but Linda Dempsey, this was her first time. She went. I think she only got to spend the day, but she was there.
Yep.
Ask people if you're curious. Go to the So Magical group if you want. But it's always a great time. It's always a new experience. Everyone is a little bit different. This year, yeah, there were some little hiccups because there always are when you change things. The event has been in Florida for 5 years. This year, we changed up the layout and the location. Were there some hiccups along the way? Absolutely, because there's always going to be.
Mhm.
Did we work through it and have a fantastic time in our class? Absolutely. 2 classes, every one of my students finished. So, I plan things. I plan it for them to be able to finish it. I prep things. I
You
give them
plan for
everything they
their
need.
success.
I do
You
because,
do.
and what I said to somebody else in a class, so my friend Kathy from K-Deal Handmade was doing one of her patterns in a jelly and clear vinyl version. As you all know, if you have played with either of those, your machine gets a little wacky because tension can be off. You have to use the right foot. It can just be trial and error for the whole thing. So we're in a class, we have an hour and a half. Can you finish this bag? 100%. What if your machine is giving you issues? And so I was saying, there was this young girl, she was like 22, I think. She just
Mhm.
started sewing. She was so sweet. And I said to her, the thing you're going to learn about sewing, everything is different and it's all about learning. And when you're in a class, it's not about finishing the project. You can finish the project anytime. You can finish it at home.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be done here. It's about learning something new, getting comfortable with your machine, maybe making a friend, doing different things. And we're all playing with tension. We're playing with feet, and a couple, a couple people, I was just helping them just like I normally do. And one of the women said, "You're so patient." And I said, "Well, I'm a teacher," meaning I teach here. She was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, like a school teacher?" And I was
Oh,
like,
God.
"No,
Oh my gosh.
no children."
No.
I was like, "No, I actually taught here yesterday, and your table mate here was in both of my classes." So then they start talking. Well, at one point, one of them was having a machine issue, and someone went over to help them, and then immediately came back and said, "You're being called for." And I was like, "This isn't my class." Like, I was like, "I'm so sorry," but they were like, she goes, "They want you, and they don't want anybody else." And I'm like, "Don't be offended." I was like, "We kind of had like a thing, whatever." But they're like, "Okay, we wanted you to help us." Like, nothing against her, but you just form these little bonds with people, and it's fun. Like,
Mhm.
it's just an interesting experience. So if you're considering it, do it. The worst thing that's going to happen is that you didn't really enjoy it, but I really don't think that you're not going to.
Mhm.
There is one in Nashville and one in Orlando next year. You're at least in a great place if for some reason you decide it's not your cup of tea. I know sometimes people are a lot. Sometimes you don't want to deal with people.
Mhm.
I get that. I get peopled out. The last 2 days I haven't talked to anybody because I get peopled out. I need a break. So, that's all. That is it. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to dive into all this stuff.
Hey, Charlie, a bit of gin and tonic helps with sewing vinyl
It
too.
sure does. And also there was a cash bar at the welcome reception, which I never usually go to, but I was
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to be more social at night, which is really hard when you wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm trying.
Mhm.
They had this punch. I don't know what was in this punch, but it was way too. You ever drink something that's too delicious?
Yeah.
And you're like gulping it. And you're like,
Yep.
wow, wait, this has alcohol in it. It was real good. It was orange. I know there was some kind of banana liqueur, which is not
Oh
usually
my
my thing,
goodness,
but it was
yeah.
good. I don't know, there was a lot of fruit going on. It was delicious. Let me tell you, the rest of my night was great after that.
I'm sure
So-
it was.
Oh, and before we went, I made my mom go to Gatorland with me.
Oh, jeez.
Gatorland?
God, I went there
Gatorland.
years ago.
I fed alligators. I touched disgusting fish. There is a video of it. It will be in my compilation video, which I have to get edited. Those are the grossest things I've ever touched in my life.
What kind of fish were they?
I don't know. Gross. Dead ones. So
Dead
you
ones?
go up to the
You touched dead fish?
so you go
Ew.
up to the guy and you get your
Ew.
thing of fish. And I was like, "Do you have gloves?" Because he was
Oh.
wearing them. And he goes, "No, you're on your own." He's like, "But there's a sink over there to wash your hands." And I was like, "That's not the problem. I'm trying to psych myself up to touch these disgusting
Slimy,
fish."
disgusting dead
So they
fish.
give you like a fishing pole. It was like if you lived out in the woods and had never had civilization. It's like a stick with like a piece of string on it. This like plastic thing. So you have to thread it into the fish and then put it
Ew.
for the alligators.
Ew.
My mom goes, after I pay for them, my mom goes, "Are you sure you can do that?" And I was like, "No." I'm like, "Can you do it for me?" And she wouldn't. She's mean. It was really gross. But there are signs everywhere that say beware of thieving birds.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No joke.
Mhm.
We moved as far down because this one bird kept trying to take my fish. So I let my guard down for a minute. I put the thing down. I go to grab the fishing pole, and this bird took the whole thing with it. Almost took all of them. I somehow had like an extra fish, so he got like my bonus fish. But my mom's like, grab it, because he almost took it off with him and like got all my fish. Those birds are no joke. They are thieving, rude birds. Yes. So.
But that saved you from having to handle so many disgusting fish.
You're so gross. So slimy. Anyone that goes fishing, like,
they're crazy.
Props to you.
Yeah.
I was having a hard time. I was like, this is so gross. And it smelled terrible.
Oh God, I can imagine.
The whole place smelled bad. You'll get to see that too. So, and all of my chins, because my mom does a great job of taking side photos and I'm like chin plentiful. So this is for you.
Oh,
somebody, and I'm so sorry.
Michelle,
if you are watching, because she does watch the channel, she made these mug rugs. She gave me one and she said to take one for my mom, and I was like, I'm gonna take it for Barb.
Thank you.
My mom doesn't sew, and she's not going to appreciate as much as Barb does.
Yes,
we love a mug rug.
Cute.
So
Definitely.
she made us little mug rugs. She went around and gave them to all of the YouTubers that she knew that she got to like meet in person, just to say thank you for what we do.
Yeah.
And another lady whose name is Sharon, I don't know if she's watching, came over and told me that I taught her how to put zippers in. And I was like, oh, I was like, that's so fun. I was like, thank you. It's just exciting. I love meeting all of you. It's fun for me. So there is no order here because there never is. What is that? So this is just a little print. Okay. I don't know if you can see that or not. So it's a little panda bear, and it says, no, you hang up. And it's does his face kind of look like the Scream mask?
Oh yeah.
So Kelly from, and I hope I say this right, Positive, like PAW, Positive Prints and Paints. She has a Facebook group. I am in it. I got to meet her and I was like, oh my God, I know your stuff. Like, she makes beautiful artwork, seamless prints that you can purchase and then print on whatever you want. So she was selling some really cool little pieces of art. And I was like, it's purple. It looks like the Scream mat. It totally, like, I have to have this. So this is going to go in my office. Next to her, and I don't have it with me, next to her was Hex Reject, which is also another seamless file maker. I got a blanket from them. It's so soft. And it has the Scream mask on it. And it says, call me maybe. And then it has Ouija board planchettes. And it was so cute. And I was like, I need this. So Roxy is at home sleeping on that right now. I'm going to save Lauren's bundle for last because I went crazy in her booth. Okay. So we, Heartwood and Hyde was there. Some of you I know are familiar with them because you get your tags from them, but they also had like other tags already printed that you could buy. So I got a couple of packs. I don't know if you're going to be able to see these. I'll try it. This one has a lot of contrast. This one says everything you can imagine is real. So there's like it's a 6-pack. And there's just a bunch of different.
They're not going to see unless your arm is about 5 feet long.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm trying.
Yeah.
But they're on cork, and then there's different colors. There's pink and green and cream, and there's just a whole bunch of them. So I got that pack. These are just to sew into your bag, whatever, whenever you make yourself something. And this one says Maker's Gonna Make, which I thought was really cute. So there's like a whole set of those too, all different colors. And this one says, feed me tacos and tell me I'm pretty. Because it's just funny. So I had to. So I got those. I'm not going to show you this one, but I bet you can guess out of all of my friends who that's for. Who's a tall one? You know who.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
Nope.
So I'm going to put that right there. Got a little gift. I also got a sticker from them that says, I say bad words.
I like that one. That's cute.
I decided, because I get all these stickers and I don't know what to do with them, I'm putting them all over my cash box.
Oh, that's
so then
cute.
when I go to a show, I have like little bits and pieces of the people that I meet. So I have a bunch of them on there. That one will go on there. I think that's all I got from them. They were also giving out tags to everybody that says artisan crafted SME Florida 2023
Yeah.
with a little duck on it. So if you made something in your
Yeah.
class, you could sew it
That was
in.
cute.
I didn't make anything, but I brought it home with me because Jade said, "Here, do you want one?" And I said, "Yeah, I do. I do." I got more silver marking pens from Lauren because I love these things, but also this one's pretty and it has a pretty cap.
Oh yeah, the
So,
silver marking.
It's for vinyl. You can use it on cork. It doesn't always come off of cork, so use it sparingly. But if you have something dark, or if you're marking on the back, like if you have black or navy, you're marking on the back, it's a really nice silver pen. So I always grab a couple of those when I'm there because I know that I lose them when I'm teaching. I know they wander and I never see them again. So I got pens. Okay, hold on. Let's see here.
She's got a lot of stuff. Here.
I do have a lot of stuff.
She did a lot of shopping.
Well, okay, so
she
I also,
she was working.
I think this was from Caitlin. I believe Caitlin gave this to me. One of my students made a little keychain, so I hung it on my name tag so I wouldn't lose it. So this is, I believe, Salty Sews. Pretty sure it sells this webbing. It's inch wide and it's like a little tape measure. They have different colors.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Caitlin gave this to me. I'm so bad. I'm terrible. I tried, but my brain falls apart. I did go to Zarel. I know I bought other stuff from Zarel. Oh, goodness. But I got these cute moth poles.
Oh, okay.
So most of Zarel, most of their line is horror movie themed. So these look like cute moths, but they're actually, for me, representative of the death moth from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Which I also have a tattoo of. But they're moths and they're cute. So I had to get those. I'm pretty sure I got other stuff. Okay.
Underneath there somewhere.
Probably.
You'll get to it.
I went to Mormino because Lauren was literally in the booth behind me, which was good and bad for me.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I got some more fabric. I got waterproof cotton. This is the pink and teal.
That's pretty.
Pink and teal floral and pixie duo. There's a yard of each. So there's this one.
That's really pretty. Yeah.
And the
that
flowers.
One is too.
So Lauren designs all these and her colors are just, they're colors that I love. Lots of pinks and purples, so I can't really resist. So those will be for some linings. I also got from Lauren's booth some cotton. These are a yard each of cotton. This one is Sewing Essentials with the rainbow scissors. And it's a nice cotton. It's not like flimsy. You know, it has like a nice feel to it. So this has the scissors and the roses and the thread. I'm holding it over. I'm going to hold it this way. Okay. I'm not used to the camera being tipped the wrong way.
Somebody said that, well, when you read the notes, somebody made a comment about it.
I don't know.
That
I'll
they think they figured it out.
Oh, okay. Perfect. And then I got the little spools. So
that's cute. Yeah.
You know, they're just things that you don't find anywhere.
No, you don't find them anywhere.
Exactly. They're not just sitting in a store somewhere. It's something different. I also got a rainbow machine screwdriver. And
those are so cute.
We will be carrying these. So if you want one, we are going to have them sometime probably October, I would say. But it's a machine screwdriver. You can also use it as a stiletto, and it's sparkling in rainbow. So you can do anything you want with it because it's pretty.
Exactly.
So
you just stare at it.
You can just stare at it.
Hanging on a chain.
And
wear it as a necklace.
Oh, and I got a pin, which I don't actually. It's not a. Is it a pin? No, it's a magnet. It just says "Stay Sharp." Which I just thought was real cute. So you can put that on your machine for, you know, whatever, for decoration because it's real cute. Let's see. Of course, I went to Hannah Woodworking because why not? And I got a second. This is the X-Acto blade. I already have one, but I wanted to get a second one because I like to have two sets of tools. Should be one for here, one for home, but usually it's one for here, one in a bag that I'm taking somewhere that I'm teaching. But I always just like to have more than one. And this one's the orange and pink resin. It's just so pretty. So I got that, and I got another little.
Those are cute.
Another little magnetic tray for my cam snap and for my Becky base. These are great when you take screws out of things like twist locks
Mhm.
or diva frames, and you need a place to make sure they don't fall on the floor. So you have to crawl on your hands and knees looking for it.
Mhm.
So I have that. Oh, okay. So I didn't realize this until I got home. I should have known better. Amber from So Majestic had said afterwards, after I saw this. So I went to the So Majestic booth. I ended up buying some zipper pulls. I got frogs and pumpkins. And there's like a multi-pack. It's all different colors. See? The little
that's
frog.
cute. Yeah.
So I got little frogs, and then I also got pumpkins. And I love the multi-packs because then I don't have to decide what color. So I
Yeah.
get all the colors. And I just love pumpkins.
Well, that's cute.
I'm
yeah.
a pumpkin person. We
Yeah.
had pumpkins at our table at our wedding. Like, we have pumpkins everywhere. It's a thing. It's a thing in our life. So I picked up these zipper pulls, chatted with Amber and her husband, and then I said, I'm out. And then I walked by this, and I said, I'm not leaving. Why did you put this at the end as I was walking out? It's purple.
Exactly.
And it's waterproof canvas or water resistant canvas in the purple lace. And I said to myself, that looks just like the purple zipper I bought from you in Tennessee. And I went and found that. And guess what?
It is.
It is.
Look at that.
But wait, there's more. So doesn't this print looks familiar to me? Maybe it does to some of you.
Mhm.
Remember this?
Oh, the vinyl.
Amber, you're killing me. So I did not realize until I got home, and Amber wrote on the So Majestic page, we have another substrate. Well, duh. Of course, it's the same prints. So I don't know that I will use these together because I don't know what bag I would combine all of these in. But
That's perfect.
I mean, come on. So she did this to me. I already owned 2 of these because I bought them on the website. But now I have this beautiful purple and a zipper to go with it because that is one of my favorite. I love a pretty like orchid.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
So
It really is.
this is for
With
me.
the gunmetal, it's great.
With the gunmetal, it's perfect.
Yep.
So there is that. Let's see here. I'll open that. Oh, there's more things from More Me Know.
Yeah.
Of course there is. Oh, I got a hair clip. Because
A hair clip?
yeah,
Okay.
because it's cute. Because I love the colors. It is the watercolor roses.
Oh, that
Isn't
one's
that
pretty.
pretty?
Yep.
So, you know, I can't help myself. So, and then last but not least, I told you, Lauren got like all of my money. I haven't gotten the writing off of this, but this is the beautiful tote bag that Lauren sells in her booth. So she has these. So I was like, oh, I want one of those. Like every time I go, I never get one. And they're big and they have like a pocket inside. Like they're really roomy. Well, Lauren had the chain stitch machine. Have you ever heard of a chain stitch machine?
Mm-mm.
So it looks, if you just kind of glance at it, it looks like just a regular sewing machine, like more of a very like an older machine. It's
Mhm.
very basic looking, you know, kind of reminds me of like an old like Singer, you know, real basic looking machine. Well, what it does is it uses this chain stitch thread, which almost looks like yarn in a way. Like it kind of looks like yarn, and it's like a hook that it has in it. And the hook allows you to make a chain stitch, but you embroider things with it. So somebody had asked if there was like a practical use for it. No, it's for embroidering. It's for decorating. So Lauren was at the booth and was putting names on things, and Lauren embroidered my name. And all I have to do is erase there's pencil mark. I just have to heat that off.
Yeah.
And then she said, be careful, because sometimes it can get a little loose back here. So put some SF 101 just to kind of secure that.
Yeah.
But she just kind of almost like free motion quilting.
Mm-hmm.
But you just like make designs, and there was a piece of leather that people were kind of like designing on. Just a cool thing.
Huh.
You know, another thing. I was like, do I need a chain stitch
I was going to
machine
say,
now?
did you buy one?
No,
I'm shocked.
they're expensive, but I think Lauren took one home. But I was like, well, that's cute, and now I have my name on it, so now no one can have that.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
then
can't steal that one, guys.
you cannot steal that one.
I can't steal it.
No.
I can always take the words out.
My mom and I went to Buc-ee's on the way home because my mom's never been to Buc-ee's, and we had to show her. So my mom bought me socks that say "a little baddie," because
That's a misnomer.
everything
Should be a lot baddie.
everything at Buc-ee's was all about Halloween, which was wonderful. And okay, I'm going to save that for last. So I went to North Carolina by myself because my mom was already there. And I went to my sister's to pick her up. And then Wednesday we went to Florida. So as soon as I get there, my sister goes, "You want to go to Target and look at all the
Oh,
Halloween
geez.
stuff?" And I was like, "Oh, for the love of God!" So I just had to show you. I got myself a mug, and I also got towels.
I see that.
Aren't they so cute? I just wanted to show that to you. So if you also like Halloween, Target is all about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, I finally went over to Simply Classic and met Chris, who was delightful and sweet, and we had many nice conversations. And Cheryl Taylor has been telling me to go introduce myself and talk to Chris for many shows, and I haven't because I'm forgetful. But Chris was literally in the booth across from me, and I said, I'm going to go over and say hello. We took a picture, we sent it to Cheryl. But Chris had in her booth, Chris sells leather, big pieces of leather, lots of leather hides, Italian leather. Chris makes patterns. Cheryl is a pattern tester, so that's how I know about the company. Her and her husband were super, super nice. And she had these mystery scrap bag leather, Italian leather. I don't work in leather. It's not really my thing, but I thought I'm always up for a scrap bag.
I was going to say,
and
you can't resist.
You can't resist a scrap bag. I mean, look what you guys do when we have cork scrap bags. This is not going to work. Where's my X-Acto knife, Becky?
There you go.
It was here. It's probably in this pile. But I have been playing around with leather earrings because it doesn't, certain things don't work the same with cork. Like you need something a little bit heavier. So I was like, wow, why not get a scrap bag? I can see, and maybe I'll play around and see what my HD9 thinks about leather. If there's something, you know, a size that I can make a thing out of. So I don't know what any of this looks like. This is the biggest bag I've ever seen. It just keeps going.
Did you even open the actual bag? No.
I think.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh.
Holy moly, Chris, what did you do here? So I have no idea.
Gosh.
I also just love the way leather smells.
Yeah.
I love that smell. So sorry to all the vegans. Move on. You're gonna have you should leave now. Ooh. Look at
like that.
Ooh.
Purple.
Look at those. Oh. I love this. It's a pink and some purple.
Suede.
This is like reptilian.
Yeah, it looks like our cork.
It does. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff in here. Very reptile. These are some fun things. So I just couldn't resist. And I was like, I'm getting a scrap bag. I want one. And, oh, there's some red. Yes, it's red. I'll get over it. There's just fun stuff in here. Red's all right. It's fine. Some black. We got lots of good things in here.
A lot of brown.
Lots of browns. These are some good sized chunks.
Those
though.
are,
Feel how soft that is?
Yeah.
You should feel how soft this is. I can definitely make a wallet or something out of this. And this is
you could
not.
make a man's wallet out of.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. This is definitely HD9 friendly. I don't need an industrial for this.
I wouldn't think
this
so,
is
no.
Yeah, this is not super, super heavy. So
I bet you my machine would work with that.
You probably could. I know what I'll be playing with at the virtual retreat. Might see if I can make like a Sydney or something. Something cute out of some leather. Yeah. So that's it. But
This looks like a snake.
It does.
Shayna would freak out.
I don't like that, but that's okay. I'm digging these though. Of course, the smallest ones.
Pieces,
but they're so pretty. So that's my haul. Yeah, I think that's everything. I had to laugh at my sister though. As soon as I get there, I know you're tired, but you want to go to Target. I'll drive, and I was like, sold. I was like, of course. So we walked around Target and bought things we didn't need because we could.
Exactly.
And my stepfather, before we leave, it's like we're both like 15. He gives us $20 a piece. He goes, here you go. I'm like,
go shopping.
I'm not gonna say no. I was like, $20 worth of free stuff. I was like, that's free money. I'll take it.
Oh God.
So that's it.
She says she sews leather on her HD9.
My HD9, I mean, well, not mine. All of them.
Cheryl says you can sew her leather on a domestic.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Cheryl. It feels domestic friendly. When I bought the HD9, the first one, the guy who sold it to me was like, "You can sew 12 layers of leather," and I was like, "Dude, back off! What are you making? What are you making with 12 layers of leather?" Right. But I was like, "Okay, but I don't work in leather." Because leather's hard to find. It's expensive, but it's also hard to find. And I can tell you, people were absolutely loving what Chris had because I was watching roll after roll walk out of that place.
Oh, yeah.
And they were long because they're hides. So they're whatever
Yeah.
size they are. I was watching people buying 2, 3, 4, 5 of them at a time.
Mm.
So it was really nice getting to know somebody else. And we are so vastly different. Our styles could not be any more different. I'm cork, she's leather. She's simplistic, does a lot of like quilted bags.
Yeah.
They're really pretty. I do, more blingy hardware,
Mhm.
zipper heavy kind of bags. But it's another fun connection and friendship to make, So, and I don't know that I ever would have thought to go over and talk to her because I don't work in leather. Had Cheryl not said, you should go talk to her. She's like, she's really nice. And so we just kind of struck up this conversation. We probably would have talked eventually being across from each
Yeah.
other, but I'm not going to look at her booth and go, leather, yay. Like, I'm not going to run to it. Now I'm like, ooh, this could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
This could be
new
another
adventure.
thing.
Another new adventure.
Another
for
new
Jessica.
adventure. So, because she doesn't have enough.
No. Mm-mm. No.
So that's it. Is there any questions? Are there any questions? Anything else that y'all need to know? Nothing? We're good?
Yeah, nothing. Just comments.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie says
Cool.
he's got a Tandy leather in his little dinky town.
I have
He's
also
never
never
tried
been to
sewing it.
Tandy. There was a Tandy leather in Raleigh when I was there, but I just didn't have the time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next time I visit my sister, I'll try to get there. Because my sister's not far from Raleigh, but it was just one of those things. I was like, I just don't have the time. And I was teaching, so I was tired. You get tired when you're teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And hot. I always get hot when I'm teaching. And so I just want to sit in air conditioning and peel my clothes off.
Frog jelly?
Yes.
Great leather?
I have ordered from Frog Jelly, but I've only ordered their vinyl. I have not ordered their leather because I don't sew with leather. So this is my first very small adventure in leather. I'm not saying it's going to be a long-lasting adventure. It could end up just being earrings. Who knows? I can't give you answers.
We never know with you.
You never know
No.
until you try. And now I have beautiful leather scraps, which I think is a great place to start. Because why not? If I bought an entire hide, I would feel stress of not using it. It would stress me out to know that I had it sitting on a shelf and I wasn't doing anything with it. It would just make me crazy. So I thought this was a much safer, much more comfortable way to go.
Yep.
So I think that's everything.
I think so.
It was a very busy week. So all I'm going to say in closing, if you are a Patreon who's feeling neglected, if you are wondering why there haven't been a lot of videos, if you're just like, hey, where's she been and how come she posts a lot of pictures of her dogs? I have had back-to-back events. It was Tennessee Sobagical and, Tennessee Sobagical Paducah, and then this. And each of those events required me to make kits.
Yes.
So there was a lot of prepping and a lot of planning and a lot of fusing and a lot of cutting. And now I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving again until sometime next year. I am going out of town with my family, but that I don't do anything for that. So I don't have to that's just get in the car and leave. If I can, if they don't overlap with a class, which I think everything this year does.
Of course.
But maybe next year. But I also have to work on my schedule for next year because it's October. Like, I'm sorry, but generally speaking, it's October.
I know.
Which is crazy to me because it was literally just July.
I know. I can't believe my retreat's next week. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done anything.
And I don't know about you, but like for me, it's been the nonstop traveling, which I don't usually have so many things in a row. Like we went away in February and then I came back and I wasn't leaving again until April. Then it was July, August, September. And now I'm just like, ugh, I'm done. I need to just be home. So I'm home until minimally January, maybe February. And I can just like work on some things, work on videos, be a better Patreon host, do other things besides lives. So I'm working on more content. I have 2 videos that I need to film for some free things, free projects. One's a redo. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's a redo with an upgrade. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a refresh, something, a reboot. Another one is a brand new free project, which you will be getting at some point in the beginning of October. Then I have some other things I need to film. And then I have a new pattern that I have to finish because I started it and I didn't finish it. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. But this weekend I have classes. Next weekend's a retreat. The weekend after that is the open house. And the weekend after that, I'm going away with my family. So
Where are you going?
we're having a girls' trip. Myself, my mom, and my sister. We're going to Pennsylvania to the amusement park we used to camp
Oh,
at.
that's right.
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
Hallow Fun, whatever
Oh,
they
it's a
call it. Their
Halloween
Halloween
thing.
weekend. But it's kids friendly. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
not going to be like spooky,
You're going to be
creepy.
around all those kids.
Well, I just avoid the kids. It's a kids friendly park. We don't go to the kid stuff. So we're bringing my mom and the dog, and we rented an Airbnb, which is an old Victorian house. First thing my sister said,
Is
"Do
it
you think it's
haunted?"
haunted?" And I was like, "Probably. It's an old Victorian house." So I might come back with a ghost. I don't know.
Who knows?
So I still have one weekend after another of things, but I'm not going away, which is a wonderful. Is it Knoebels? It is. Stacy, you know Knoebels? Yes. We've been going there since it's been a few years. I started going there when I was 5. I am not 5 anymore.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Legit question.
Legit. Sorry.
Speaking of patterns and videos, did you ever do a pattern or a video of the bag that has a changeable flap?
Damn it, I knew someone was going to ask me that. No, I'm still, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm not here to make excuses, but I will.
But
but I will. I have no help with videos. I'm the only one that films them and edits them. And the fact that I haven't been around to do either of those things is the problem. Yes, it is coming. No, it is not filmed yet. I also have a video that I filmed like a month and a half ago that I still haven't edited. It's on my computer waiting. It was whenever Georgia was released, I filmed something the same weekend, and then I never edited it because I am one human being who gets real tired. But I'm home. I got things to do. I just gotta sit down and do them. And now I'm home, so I can. So
no excuses.
No excuses. So that means if I'm here filming, Barb can't come in and talk to me.
Nope.
You know, so we gotta get down and get doing it. So I don't know. Caffeine set in. So don't worry.
And how many is that?
You've never been to, listen, if you live in the Elysburg or Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area, go to Knoebels because it's good time and it's pet friendly. You can bring your dog. If your dog likes to go walk around, you can bring your dog. Your dog can even ride on the train, which is really fun. We took my little dog Lucy. I had Lucy, we took Lucy on the train. It's not an expensive place, and it's not like most of your amusement parks where you have to pay to get in regardless of what you're doing.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay. So we used to take my grandparents who didn't go on rides.
Really?
Yeah, it's like one of the last free parks in the United States.
Wow.
You can just come in. You don't have to pay to park. You don't have to pay to do anything. You want to just walk around and do nothing?
Around, you're
fine. Totally fine. Yeah.
Huh.
So you pay to go on rides if you want to, and you pay to eat, and that's what we're there for. My sister said she plans on eating her way through the entire park, and I'm here for it. So I'm fine with that.
Sounds good.
So that's it. So we will see you next week. It's a virtual retreat weekend. I may or may not be home. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be here on Friday or if I'll be at home, but we'll think of something fascinating to tell you.
I'll be at my retreat next weekend.
You will. So one way or another, we won't be together.
No.
So I might just stay home and do it.
There you go.
We'll see how it goes. So that's it. Are you saying goodbye?
I'm
doing
going
it?
to say goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye, people.
If you're in my class this weekend, I'll see you Saturday or Sunday or both. All right.
Oh, the chair is empty. Bye, guys.
Bye.